This is WGRG 100.5 FM, where we meet the absolute minimum FCC broadcasting standards. It's time to hang on and brace yourself for a community radio program that's frankly indescribable. Let's talk Geneseo. Two guys with nothing better to do on a Friday morning but to talk about our community. Geneseo City Administrator Brandon Meglin and City Alderman Keith Kennett. And yeah, nobody, and I mean nobody, puts the blah in blah, blah, blah like these guys do.
Hey, and good Friday morning to everyone out there listening and viewing. This is Let's Talk Geneseo, our end of the year edition, Christmas edition of the program. I'm Keith Kennett, along with Brandon Meglin as our Mr. Announcer in person. So aptly announced just prior to that, and just kind of have an update. Brandon has the Leaky Cup of the Year award, went to McDonald's, and this thing is just like guys are leaking all over our table, but it's fine.
It's getting worse.
We have two rolls of paper towels on standby and a garbage can, so it's all good.
If you've never turned in on the live camera view on Channel 50, now would be an opportunity to see the cup leaking all over the desk if you wanted to check out the live feed rather than just the radio version.
It's just part of the fun here on the morning program. Yeah. But yeah, that thing is just it's a significant leak that you have with that, and it's really enjoyable watching Brandon trying to drink from it.
Still good though.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of all good, we have Zach Sullivan with us this morning. And when Zach is in the house, we, of course,
cue it up.
Have this. Yeah.
Never been a more appropriate theme song than going into this weekend.
I can't believe you didn't bring the boa.
I thought about it. Really, I did. This morning, I was like, should I? Nah, I had a different costume for the picture, but maybe next time.
The Hulkster.
Jack is wearing his I Survived the Decision-Making Process t-shirt from last week. Zach, you know we love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Must have been a tough Saturday of call-making.
Yeah, the last week of my chamber career has been nothing like anything else I've experienced. It's been a wild week, busy week, lots of rescheduling, lots of calls, lots of texts, lots of emails, lots of catching up on emails. I know I have a lot of that to do, but we are kind of reacting to the situation that we're in with the Christmas walk and the ice storm that happened last weekend, and the fact that rising temperatures never came along to melt anything. So, yeah, it was rough. Just kind of talking about last weekend, we did get the jingle run in on time for the Christmas walk event, and I want to give a big shout out to Brett Decker and the crew over at Central Bank who helps out with the jingle run, not only for helping out for 14 years for this event, and they've really done a lot to help out with the jingle run and make this a staple of the Christmas walk event, but also how we all work together to manage the incoming ice storm, because it was just starting as the jingle run was set to start. And so we worked with the police department and the street department to salt the route prior to takeoff. We delayed the race by about 15 minutes, but this gave the ice an opportunity to get melted a little bit by the salt that was being laid by the street crew. Jason Brandow with the City of Geneseo Street Department did an outstanding job helping to try to keep ahead of things. And we got the run in with no injuries, no slips, no falls, thank goodness. 117 jingle runners went out and braved the elements. It progressively got worse. It was certainly worse out at the end of the race than it was the beginning, and lots of fun stories about how that year when we ran the jingle run in the freezing rain. But a lot of people worked together to make that happen and make it a safe run, and I want to acknowledge them and commend them for a job well done, and that it's appreciated by the Geneseo Chamber. Mm-hmm. And then things went downhill from there. We were watching the ice. There were a few activities happening, but the ice kept coming. I feel like everything just kind of got pushed back a little bit. That's kind of what we experienced during the Christmas walk. It got to a point at about 12 o'clock, 12:30, where we have to seriously pick which fork in the road we're going to go down here. And in talking with the street department and the police department, we knew if we put the barricades up that we would not be able to salt and treat the walking area for the pedestrians, which is going to create a big slip hazard. And we're talking possible injury, concussions, worse. That's not something that we can entertain. We have to keep people safe first off and foremost. So that kind of trumps everything. But where it gets hard for me as the chamber director is that we're a pro-business community and an organization, and we work to support our small businesses. The Geneseo Christmas Walk is one of the most important retail days of the year and for dining for our restaurants. And a lot of businesses count on that day to have a successful year, and without that, it could be bad news. And that decision was on my shoulders, and it's something I'm still not okay with, but I knew it was the right call for safety purposes. At the time, we were getting a lot of questions of whether or not we could push things back or reschedule. But in the moment, we had to focus on, okay, we made the call to cancel the event. Now we have to contact all of our vendors, our stakeholders with the event to tell them that it's canceled. And we have to communicate that first off and foremost before we start to think about what we can do next week. So a lot of questions that didn't get unanswered right out the gates just because we had to focus on the task at hand on the 14th rather than plan for the 21st. So my day ended much earlier than anticipated last Saturday. I was at home feeding the dog at 5 o'clock when I should have been at the parade. So it wasn't an easy day by any means for me, because I know what we had planned for the event, and it would have been amazing and people would have loved it. Whatever you're thinking in your mind right now when I say this is what we had planned, okay? It was a grand celebration. And for Geneseo not to get that, not only as a community, but for our businesses not to experience all the customers bustling downtown, it hurts our psyche a little bit, I think, as a community. So Sunday, and I'd say Saturday evening, actually, there was a lot of discussion of, can we push this back to next week? And we can't say no, I feel like, right? I mean, is it extra work for me? Sure. I have to come in and work an extra weekend, but that's what I signed up for, to be with this Chamber of Commerce in Geneseo. And that's not the chamber we are, to be like, well, we tried, better luck next year. I'll admit, when we first canceled, I was like, how do we reschedule something this big and do this? Do we have time? Can it be done? But then I'm like, we're Geneseo. Of course it can be done. You know, Geneseo has a way of stepping up to the plate in dire times. And I would say, from my perspective, it is kind of a dire time to do what we can to help our small businesses and to do something, because something's better than nothing. So we had a meeting. It was Katie Kasunas, our chamber board president, in addition to city leadership, police department, public works. And we're like, okay, how do we do this again? And so we knew that the biggest challenge for us was manpower and volunteers, because we have a lot of people who participate in the Christmas walk, help out with some of the volunteer needs for staging a parade, and people have plans and they can't commit to a second weekend. So we had to create kind of an event for a second run at Christmas walk that was as less stressful on volunteers and manpower as possible. So having that mindset, we did some brainstorming, and we came up with the first ever State Street Illumination Sensation. And we are so excited about this. So what the Illumination Sensation is we're going to take the lighted parade, we're modifying it, and rather than running the parade as a moving parade through downtown Geneseo, we are going to park the parade floats right through the middle of downtown, right through the center strip of State Street, from the cellar going down to the Geneseo Art League and Gallery over at Exchange Street. And we're going to space the floats out, and people can come up close to get a look at them. But we're not turning them on until 5 o'clock, because we do a tree lighting, right? Well, we've lit this tree 3 times already in Geneseo, you know? And hey, I'm for it. I'll light it 10 times. I'll light it 100 times. I think it's awesome. But how can we offer something a little different, and something that's not the same old, and give people something to look forward to that they haven't seen before, right? And we have that opportunity with this, what we're calling behind the scenes Christmas Walk 2.0. So we decided that at 5 o'clock, we have our essay winner, Stella Anderson, and she is a first grader at Southwest who won our coloring contest. Well, she's owed a tree lighting. So instead of just lighting the tree with Santa Claus, which is something she'll still get to do, the switch is also going to turn on all of the lighted floats through downtown Geneseo at the same time. Mm-hmm. And hence, the Illumination Sensation will be on display for everyone to enjoy. I think it's going to be a really cool thing. And we have a few vendors. We have some living windows that people are still going to get to experience. We also have a lot of children's activities and live Christmas music. Lots of gifts and goodie bags. The museum, for example, Melanie Rice will be handing out some goodie bags that they had planned for the Santa meet and greet. So it's going to be a great event for the family to come down and see. I know that this is also a busy Saturday night for people to go out in Geneseo. Guess what? We're throwing a huge Christmas party for you this year on the winter solstice, too. It's the darkest day of the year.
Yeah.
And that means we're going to light up Geneseo. So come one, come all. It's not going to be your regular Christmas walk per se, but if we get the same crowd that we normally get, that's awesome. But we know that it's going to be scaled back a little bit just because of the lack of resources and the scheduling issues that presented itself with the reschedule.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So no moving parade, but more of a street party, access of control. You can bring your beer outside if you want, hit the street in the area that's blocked off, bring your food outside and shop and check out the floats, right? That's what it's about.
That's right. Our businesses are going to be open. Most businesses will be open late for your last minute Christmas shopping needs because tomorrow is December 21st and I've got news for you. It's not getting shipped to your house on time at that point. So Geneseo offers a great opportunity to get your last minute shopping done where you will definitely have the gift. You know that you'll have it in time for the holidays to give to your loved ones and special ones. So definitely shop and dine early and often in Geneseo this Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And Zach, not to put you on the spot, but do you know if some of the organizations had like meals planned? Any information on if they're going to try again or?
Oh yeah. So the First Methodist Church will be offering a meal site, I think from 4 to 6 tomorrow, as normally planned, maybe half the time they'd normally allocate for it. But and then the Concordia Lutheran Church will also be offering a meal site. I think they have chili and hot dogs. And so it's a good opportunity to go in there and support them as they would have been open to support the event as well, offering people a warm place to have a great meal. Also, Sam's La Roma Pizza, a Geneseo staple. They are going to be open tomorrow night with the buffet, the famous buffet. And I mean, Geneseo, you've been so good this year that the Kookaroos are opening up the indoor dining for you for this experience with Santa Claus. So Santa Claus is going to be there, and people can meet Santa Claus at La Roma's from 4:30 until 7 and get the nice sit-down experience that I know a lot of people miss in Geneseo and that La Roma's has to offer. And we really appreciate Severio and everyone at La Roma's, Gene, the twins, for staying open extra to do this for the event. It's a lot of extra work on their shoulders, and they step up to the plate every year to make this happen for people in Geneseo.
Awesome.
Well, there, and as Zach says, we just things didn't go exactly as we had hoped last week, but great job turning it around and still making it a different event in a way, but still catches all the fun stuff of what we look forward to, and encourage everyone to come out this Saturday night, let your friends and family know, and enjoy a wonderful evening here and celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're happy to announce that. I can tell you one of the questions I've got in past Christmas walks was, especially when it's that perfect Christmas walk and the streets are just jam-packed around dinner time, is where can I get in to eat? I didn't make a reservation. Places are filling up quickly, and we have a brand new huge restaurant opening in Geneseo actually today, but the ribbon cutting, they've signed up to be a chamber member. The ribbon cutting with the chamber is tomorrow at noon, right?
Yeah, that's right. So finally, and at long last, we've been patient, and Habaneros is finally coming to Geneseo, Mexican restaurant and cantina. Habaneros is great if you've ever had any of their food when they've been set up in the South Park Mall in Moline. And this is the former Lionstone Brewing location, Great Revivalist Brew Lab, what have you. It's been vacant for a little while since the last tenants took off, but now we have Habaneros that's opening up. So for some great authentic Mexican food. Josue is a great host, and his employees are outstanding. You get your food fast, and it's so exciting to have a great restaurant like this right here in Geneseo. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with the space. You know, I think they have I don't know if they plan on doing anything with the patio out back, but there's an opportunity there for them if they're planning on it. So we will be doing a ribbon cutting, and when I say we, the Geneseo Chamber, will be doing a ribbon cutting tomorrow at noon for Habaneros. So come on down, and remember, it's their soft opening on a Christmas walk weekend, so be patient.
Yeah. Yeah, really appreciate Josue and the team at Habaneros and what the investment that they put into that space. Not many people got to see it like we did from a city standpoint, and that place unfortunately got completely stripped bare, that tenant space and that strip mall, when the previous tenant left. And talk about an investment. I mean, people are going to be really nicely surprised when they go in there and see the build out that they had to do into that facility. It's amazing. So.
Yeah, can't wait to check it out. A lot of anticipation for it to open, and of course they've had the windows covered, so I think everyone's anxious to see what they've done. But yeah, just as Brandon said, here they did a very nice job with it. So wish them all the best and years of success here in our community.
Yep, and be patient with them. I think the seating capacity is 170 inside of this restaurant. So if anybody that used to go to the brewery, you think about half the space was storage and brewing tanks and the brew lab in the back, and that the majority of that has now opened up to seating capacity.
Yeah. So, that's a tough soft opening draw.
Right.
Saturday before Christmas and Christmas Walk 2 Illumination Sensation weekend, but hey, I'm sure they'll be happy for it, and maybe be a tad patient, recognizing that it's literally the first day.
Yeah. Yep. What else, Keith? I wanted to, while we have some time this morning, acknowledge our friends at Inspire Continuing Care for helping the city do the Holiday Lights Contest, which is a Geneseo Municipal Electric sponsored contest with prizes towards electric bills every year that we run. Inspire Continuing Care, they came out with myself, Deputy Chief Carson, took a police squad out, the Inspire van, and it was a fun night. We had pizza with them and took them on a tour of the Holiday Lights. Those that signed up for the competition, there were 7 entries, 7 people that submitted registration forms on time for that competition. And they got to check them out and then vote for their favorite displays. And
share with us.
418 West Wells. He's actually sitting here with us. Is the winner? The winner of the Holiday Lights competition?
There we go. Right. The gingerbread house.
Yeah. Way to go, Zach.
Which we traditionally would announce right after Santa and Mrs. Claus help light the tree at Christmas Walk, but. Like Zach explained, the schedule really got shaken up last week, and so we went ahead and released it on Facebook early Sunday morning to get the word out. Getting a lot of questions on what was going on, and I've just got an update on the leaking McDonald's coffee here.
I'll get Brandon some more paper towels.
Starting to run over the edge of the table, and the industrial paper towels aren't working out.
That towel is
so well. I'm probably gonna have to throw this away.
Have another one. Have another one, Brandon.
If there's anybody from McDonald's listening, if you could bring me another coffee, we'd appreciate it. Oh, it's almost gone.
Yeah, it all leaked out.
Anyway.
It's all good.
So, congratulations, Sullivan's. Well-deserved. A lot of unique details in your display. The gingerbread house. Check it out on West Wells. Second place went to I'm going to maybe butcher some of these names, but the Jotz household, 513 East Orange, Joswiak household, 216 West South, and the Nowlin house, past winner many times, and placer 397 Red Oak. Great job to those top 4, and check out the city's Facebook page or website for all 7 entries to see some of the photos from the Inspire folks going out, and appreciate everybody who participated in that. Just helps kind of brighten things up around Christmas Walk and going into the actual Christmas holiday here.
A lot of entries for the contest? Not to put you...
Just 7.
Okay.
Just 7. I would say, most years are it's somewhere like 8 to 12. So, I don't know. Try to get the word out there as best we can. But, and there's lots of great houses decorated. So, next year, be thinking about it. We announce the competition usually at around Thanksgiving time. Put it out there and put the entry form out there in late November. So be looking for it. It's a $250 credit on your electric bill if you win, and there's prizes down to 4th place, down to $50, I believe. So if you're decorating, might as well enter and invite people to drive by on the right of way and check your house out.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun seeing people drive by or sometimes even reverse to get a second look at our house. We started decorating our house like this last year. 2023 was the first year we did it. And my wife, Michelle, just had this vision of turning the front of our house to a gingerbread house. And so, you okay there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And So it was a lot of fun to plan that out with her. Last year was a little harder to set up than this year just because it was the first time, but Michelle really gets a lot of credit for having this vision to make it happen, and I'm glad people can enjoy it. And we look forward to taking on the Nowlins year after year in this contest. So
Maybe we're blow molds.
oh yeah, right. Yeah, we could get something like that. We have a dog that runs in the front yard though, so we have to limit everything close to the house. And but no bother. But he definitely messes a few things up sometimes. So
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Zach, and all the winners in the competition. And as Brandon said, addresses are on the Facebook page, so check them out. Probably be quite a few people doing that Saturday night after hitting the walk and maybe cruising through town and checking out some decorations.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
so we got some chamber updates.
Oh, chamber
to share.
updates. All right.
Chamber update.
Thank you, Zach.
We've got all sorts of information and things happening at the chamber in addition to doing the Christmas walk a second time in a week. It's been a fun week, I'll tell you. But one thing is a call for volunteers for tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at the city park, because we're going to be setting up the luminaries at the city park. And if you look outside, we have a layer of snow now, and I don't think it's going to melt. So we're going to have luminaries amongst the snow at the city park tomorrow, which is going to be an amazing touch of classic Victorian illumination that we really enjoy as being a part of the Christmas Walk event. That was already postponed because of the forecast last week, so this is happening as rescheduled before the other reschedule. But that's part of the Christmas Walk allure, I think, is that that Victorian walk and the past of it and having the luminaries. And so it's a long time tradition, but we do need volunteers to help set this up at the city park at 9 o'clock. Please don't just let it be me and my wife doing this. We need people to help out, and we're just kind of putting out a public ask, but it counts for Silver Court hours for Geneseo High School students. And the more people we have, it doesn't take more than an hour to get done. So, a good 10 to 15 person crew we'd really cook through that pretty quick. So want to put out a request for volunteers tomorrow at the city park at 9 o'clock a.m. Some other Chamber of Commerce news is our board of directors. We have some incoming board directors coming in and some outgoing board directors. And so I'd like to welcome to our board, we have Alex Joseph, who is the director of marketing at Springfield Armory. He'll be joining our board of directors starting in 2025. And Shanda Wood with Central Bank. She's a longtime volunteer and has helped out on the Christmas Walk committee longer than I've been on the committee. And Shanda is great to work with, but she is now on our board of directors representing Central Bank. So I'd like to welcome Alex and Shanda to the Geneseo Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. And I'd also like to thank some outgoing directors. I'd like to thank April Davis from Central Bank. She has served on our board of directors for the last 3 years. Obviously, you see the work she does with the marketing at Central Bank and everything that's happened at the Central Bank Pavilion over the years. So appreciate all of April's contributions. And then Mark Grabicheski, many-time multi-host here on Let's Talk Geneseo, Quad Cities Investment Group partner. He has served on this Chamber of Commerce board for the last 7 years. He was Chamber Board President in 2020 when we had a difficult year to navigate, my first full year at the Chamber. And I really appreciate Mark and having his ear to run ideas through. And Mark's put a lot into the Chamber. And a lot of the credit and success we see today is due to the work that he's done over the last 7 years. So Mark, if you're listening, thank you. We really appreciate you. And then other than that, just kind of looking at what's happened in 2024, my goodness. This is, I think, the 4th Christmas event that we've tried to do at the Geneseo Chamber, because we did the last lighting, and then we did the first lighting, and then we did Christmas Open House, and then we tried to do Christmas Walk, and then now we're doing Christmas Walk 2.0. So lots of Christmas events, but we've also added 2 new murals to Geneseo. We have the Harold Newman mural, which went up in June over at the Mel Foster building. And we also have the new Richmond Hill Park mural at Shelter Number 4. And those are 2 new public art additions that the Geneseo Chamber worked to kind of bring here. We also just finished up the Shop Geneseo promotion, where for every $100 that shoppers spend, they enter to win prizes that were donated by Geneseo businesses. Well, not only did we have more prizes donated by Geneseo businesses than ever at 38, but we also had 1,382 cards turned in, which is the most cards we've had turned in so far. That represents over $138,000 worth of economic activity put on by the small chamber of commerce. We crunched the math, and it turns out that per member of the Chamber of Commerce, every member individually saw a over $470 return on investment just with that program alone. Never mind the gift certificates, never mind the events that are going on out the street, just Shop Geneseo alone. And so that means that if your dues are less than $470, you've already seen an ROI by joining the chamber. And I highlight this because we're about to do our membership drive for 2025, and we're proud of the work we've done here at the Geneseo Chamber to support our small business community, to put on these great events that have a proven economic impact on our small businesses and on our community. And we're working hard to do that. We're proud of it. It's hard to do with 2 people, but again, we have a great cast of volunteers and directors behind us that help with their expertise. They help volunteer at events. And then there's also the greater community who gets involved with everything that we do. And so I really appreciate all those efforts because it's not possible without them. Of course, the city's partnership and leadership too. We can't do all of this fun stuff without the city. And then we're looking forward to some more business events next year in 2025, particularly some lunch and learn events and some networking events. We've seen that a lot of our businesses are really interested in being able to network with each other. And so we want to provide that platform for them instead of just always focusing on events, which that's totally fine and we're good at it and we're going to keep doing that. But what can we also do to add more value to our members, right? And what can we do to show our non-members that we are worth the investment, And so we have some surveys that we plan on doing and kind of asking not only our members but our non-members, what are you looking for chamber membership? Because the more businesses that we have who are members of the chamber, the stronger and better not only our events and basically all the character of the community that the chamber has a hand in putting on gets, but just the stronger business community, the unification, the fact that we're running promotions and all the stores are actually open instead of a patchwork of they're open, they're closed. Let's all get on the same page, and a rising tide lifts all boats. So that's kind of my PSA for chamber membership I wanted to put out there. But again, we have so much support from so many great businesses, and I don't want to say no one's supporting us. That's not what's happening. Most businesses are chamber members, and they're the ones who are responsible for making all of this magic happen in Geneseo, including Christmas Walk 2.0, which is happening tomorrow, Saturday, December 21st in downtown Geneseo.
Illumination sensation.
It's going to be awesome.
And 9 o'clock at City Park and help Zach set up luminaries also.
Need a few people.
Yeah, just a few people, but it's going.
Men.
And then also when they're lit, right? And we'll need some people to help light, but I think we had a pretty good crew set up to light the luminaries at 4. But take a minute tomorrow night to walk through the park when the luminaries are lit up, especially with the snow on the ground on the winter solstice, 4 days before Christmas. This is literally like the background on a storyline for a movie, for one of those Hallmark movies. Here's the setting. There's snow on the ground. The luminaries are lit. It's dark, and there's a wonderful Christmas festival going on. Make your own Christmas memories right here in Geneseo tomorrow.
Johnny's home from college.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, Zach, thank you very much for all that information. And again, I think not to speak for the community, but I guess I will, but just appreciate all your extra efforts this year to make it all work and make lemonade out of lemons a little bit with how things occurred, and look forward to everything happening tomorrow. Brandon, anything else cooking city-wise before we pull the plug for the year?
Don't think so. We're plugging away, lots of things in the pipe, getting ready for next city council meeting. Will be on January the 14th, so got a little bit of a gap here around the holidays, and lots of good things coming, though, for next year.
All right, well, with that, we'll wrap it up. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Zach. To you, Brandon.
Same to you.
Been a fun year doing this. We'll start year 2, 3, 4, 1, whatever it is.
Yeah.
At the start of the year.
Yep.
Program number more than we thought.
Number 47, I think, will be the next one. So almost to that 50 marker.
Perfect. And to our listeners and stuff as well, Merry Christmas, all the best wishes and stuff in 2025. And don't forget the big illumination sensation tomorrow at 5. And Christmas Walk 2.0 will be happening in Geneseo tomorrow. So with that, we, again, appreciate you tuning in. And this is WGRG 100.5 FM in Geneseo. Have a great weekend.